Me, name's Sony. Welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the little VTubing setup that I've been testing here. Now, of course, I know that you're waiting for other videos recently. I should mention this is going to be the last video here, or at least for this route, where I'm actually working on this. I am working on ProjectTX and I'm aiming to do a video on ProjectTX next week, so that'll be coming. But I have a bit of a stressed out week, and I had a little bit of a stressed out week last week as well, actually. So I've been getting on with quite a lot of things. Now there are a few changes happening in this project, and you'll probably have noticed them already. Well, small ones anyway, you'll have noticed. There's a thing on my table which actually acts as a mouse. So here we go, we've got an actual stylus that moves when my mouse is moving. You can't actually see the mouse on screen, of course, but you can in some other areas, and I'll show you that now. What I've got next to me here though, in the real world, is a well, firstly you can see the mic that I've modeled for the game. It's not actually in the correct position. This is where the real mic is. You'll notice a change on the mouth. So he actually talks a little bit differently now. I've still got a slight scale on my head, on the actual scaling of the head, but the mouth also has been added there as well. Now it's not just a regular sort of open close kind of thing. It's actually got a little bit more clever stuff going on. So it's not exactly that. I've added tubby cat ears onto my headphones, of course, as always expected, but there we go. Now there's a few cool things going on. Next to me on the desk, there is something called a LIOREN Board, and that's just a little application that connects to your desktop from your Android, and it also connects a bunch of applications. So this is actually the first time I'm recording this video using OBS rather than my NVIDIA game stream and Shadowplay. And that's because I have control over the OBS from the LIOREN Board. As you can see here, if I switch to my on break section, so here we go, you can see a little quick test that I've done. This is just a very quick test. I just threw in a bunch of my images and just tested the slideshow, a little bit of a moving animation image in the background there and some text on top. And there we go. If I switch back to my VTube setup, you can see we're back here. But there's more to it. Now I haven't made a perfect integration from Unity yet, but I am using keyboard shortcuts to do exactly that. So what I can do is I can press things on the LIOREN board, and here we go, switch between the cameras. So if I switch back to camera 2 here, you can see I've switched to camera 2, and you can actually see the mouse movement a little bit better here. And you can see I actually pick up the mouse from the table there, the actual stylus for my little touchpad design that I've got here. But of course I've got more than two cameras here. I've actually got two more cameras. One is camera 3 here, and camera 3 zooms out with an FOV that's lower, and it's looking more at the actual table there, the front of the table. There's a reason for that, and that reason is that I've got the OBS virtual camera running in the background as well, and again I've got the LIOREN board that can activate that. So here we go, I can press the virtual cam button, and you can see we are on my browser here, and we're on my itch.io page. So there we go, this has got an actual live browser running in the background while my Unity is running. Now while I'm working on here, I can press the button again on the LIOREN board and switch on and off the virtual cam in the Unity world. Now the other thing is, you can see that I actually have this as a live source in OBS as well. So if I keep the virtual cam on, I can switch to the browser mode by itself in OBS. So here we go, we're in the browser itself, and switch back to the VTube section here. And you can also tell that it's actually an actual image in the game world, because if I switch back to camera 1, you can see it's actually on the table. It's literally on the table. It's really cool. I have a full active ability to just use this browser source here, and you can see here I've got YouTube running up here as well, and of course we can load a video, full screen it, and it'll show on the table in camera number 3. So there we go, camera number 3. Now camera number 1 again, what I also have is, if we switch off the virtual cam to save ourselves a bit of performance, you can see a little bit of a drop in the frame rate when I'm running the virtual cam. But there is a faster way to do that as well, which is of course through a green screen technique. So here we go, this is my green screen that shows up in the background, and of course with camera 4, I can actually black out all the rest of my scene and just get just the green screen in the background. So if I switch off the green screen, now what I want to do is actually switch in OBS to a green screen mode. So here we go, I press this button and then I press this, and now we've got the desktop, and you can see me moving the mouse and it's running in the background absolutely live. This is incredible. So this is my tutor zone. Here we go, this is my tutor camera, and it's really cool. Now of course, if we switch over to camera 1 again, you can see it's still in the background, and while I've got my virtual cam open, so I've got all 3 going now. There's a real green screen in the background, and then an in-game world screen there on the table at the bottom, which is really cool. So if I switch to cam 3, you can see it all properly. There we go. And this is all while tracking from the webcam and my leap motion, and of course you can see my hand moving the mouse as well. So now if we were to, for example, load this video here, hopefully the internet isn't terrible, and there we go. Ooh, I should probably lower the volume on my actual screen, even though you won't be able to hear any changes. I can switch off the green screen as well for me, switch back to VTube, and there we go. You can watch a YouTube video of this scene here on the table. Absolutely incredible. But of course, if we go to camera 4 and switch on the green screen and switch off the virtual cam, then we've got it running in the background now, and everything gets a little bit meta. And no, we are not talking about company names. So there we go. This is my new setup. It's absolutely incredible. And if we switch off the green screen here and then switch back to camera 1 and just pause that video, things are really heating up over here. I have complete control over all of these little mechanics and stuff within my LIOREN Board application on my mobile phone screen, while also at the same time being able to use the desktop without even looking at Unity. Things are just, it's really cool. Now you'll notice a little bit of a change in Tubby's visuals as well. Tubby, in the last video, I accidentally had his shader changed so he was a little bit shiny. The reason he was shiny is because I'm actually using the same shader for the headphones here, and I needed to add some control over the metallic and specular values to the shader. I added them and they defaulted Tubby's shader, and I forgot to change that. So here we go, we've got a corrected Tubby shader now. He looks much more fluffy. He looks how he should. He hasn't done any additional animations yet. He's just still sitting there hanging around doing what he wants. But there we go. It all looks really cool and really nice. Now about ProjectTX, I've been planning on taking some of my old works, some of the old demos that were put out, which were testing and fiddling with physics and stuff, and building them within ProjectTX. Now of course, everything I build now going forward is going to be using OpenXR, so no need to worry about the whole Oculus problem where I've got Oculus and then I've got SteamVR and I never get around to building the OpenVR versions, and some people just simply aren't able to play it even with all the revive tools and all of that. But oh well, right? I'm going to move everything to OpenXR as much as I can so that we don't have that problem anymore. I don't have to deal with all of that anymore. But there we go, right? So the aim is to actually put out a much simpler demo that I wanted to. This one will be completely free, but it'll be ProjectTX. Now I will remove a lot of the more advanced mechanics, so it'll be still the same stuff that you've seen in the past, but in a much newer build. So it'll be using the proper ProjectTX systems, which are far beyond any of my older systems. So if you remember the Walkomotion demo where you can actually climb a castle, I'm going to redo that within ProjectTX. So you've got better locomotion, you've got better character control and input directions, and you've got way better physics as well. But that's really the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching, and look forward to the ProjectTX video at the end of this week. This week coming. This is technically the weekend, so that would be a very dumb thing to say. But yeah, there we go. What do you think of the new setup? It is definitely heating up. I am absolutely loving being able to do all of this stuff. The mouth definitely needs work. It's not perfect, but as you can see, it doesn't keep this sort of static shape as well. It's more than that. Now if I do sort of scream into the mic, you can see that the mouth kind of holds a little bit of shape while also being a little bit dynamic. So So there we go. It's not bad. Anyways, thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and that's about it. Goodbye.